Lots.
Whoa! Look at what's going on. Are we all in risky business? Are we gonna play the music?
Oh yeah, buddy.
What's up, folks? Welcome everybody to our Summer Jam episode. So we are live on a Monday. It is July 18th. Is this considered the middle of the summer, Rob? Or
I think it is. I think it's a halfway point between now and pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh, pumpkin spice lattes. Oh, I love those things. All right, so we're in the midpoint of summer, so we thought we'd talk a little bit about our favorite summer movies. So thank you everybody for joining us. If you are catching this on the rewatch, we are live every Monday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'd love you to join us in the live chat, like some of the people here. We got Lewis in here. I see Fraser's in here. I see my good buddy Steve is in here as well. He's talking about Morbius. I don't think it's going to be on anybody's list. So I have a special guest here, Chris Ho, my blood brother, and I have my fellow host, Rob, my brother from another mother. We are the Sidekick Show, and we're gonna have some fun tonight, folks. So I hope you guys are here, and I hope you guys have your lists of your summer movies ready to roll. So let's kick it off. I'm going to take these shades off because I can't see nothing. Yeah, and I got to look at some of these.
Oh, you guys are losers. Look, man. You got to get dressed for the occasion, bro.
We're copping out early.
Well, Rob rocking the, I think we have to call it a tank top. We can't call it by its other name.
Dude,
with the stripe.
Hawaiian shorts. Come on.
Well, thank God that he's wearing pants.
It's summertime.
Summertime, as Will Smith and DJ.
Dude, look at the burn. Look at the burn marks from being out in the pool this weekend.
Whoa, is the pool running?
Don't get us demonetized, Rob. Come on.
What's that?
Don't get us demonetized. Come on.
The pool is up and running. Yeah, I'm like my shoulders are all burnt. Yeah.
Congrats, man! I thought you were gonna go the whole summer. That would have sucked if they didn't get it up and running. So thank God. I know it was a bit of a wait for you guys. So we'd like to open the show with our new segment, which is how was your weekend? So let's give it to Rob first, and we'll give Chris, our guest, some time to check it out. You guys in the chat, if you guys got to get up to anything cool, or maybe revisit an old hobby, watch a new TV show or a movie or something like that, let us know. Do the recon for us so we can know if we want to have to watch all these movies and stuff. Rob usually gets a lot of stuff done.
I had company over. I had my brother-in-law over on the hi John on the weekend, and for like full-on swimming, day drinking, and stuff like that. So I didn't get a lot. I did finish The Boys. I don't know I know that John hasn't, so I don't know if Chris has or not. Yeah. But I will say The Boys season 3 is unbelievable. It is phenomenal. I loved it. Highly recommend that. Here's what I don't recommend. Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. So, my son and I decided to watch this movie, and it's only the runtime is 2.5 hours. It took us 9 hours over 2 days. It was the longest movie in the history of movies. So I would highly recommend not seeing that movie whatsoever. And I feel like I saw something else, but you know what I saw, John? You recommended the Bob Saget. They had a special on Netflix. So I kind of saw that, and then I fell into the rabbit hole of comedy specials. I saw the Norm Macdonald one where he recorded it all in one take right before he was going into the hospital for surgery last year. So that's kind of what I got up to, but mostly dude is hanging out by the pool and enjoying some rays, unlike today, which is all full of rain.
It's supposed to rain all weekend, so I guess it's going to be an at-home hobby week. Chris Ho, I know you were nowhere near watching any more Harry Potter stuff. I think you hit the eject button after the first 3 movies. Did you get a chance to check anything out new this weekend?
Yeah, like Rob said, I did watch The Boys. That was last week though, and I agree with him. Great show, great fresh take on this superhero genre. If you guys are looking for something, to get out of that whole, you're sick of the superhero genre, that's the thing to take a look at. I started watching, I'm a little late to the game, but Umbrella Academy I started watching, and that's a so-so show. And then the show
it's so good. That's so good.
You don't like the music in it, Chris?
Maybe the first episode. I don't recall any of the music choices after that, but yeah. And the other show I started watching was Solar Opposites, which is a cartoon made by the same people as Rick and Morty, and it's kind of a hot take, but I think it's better than Rick and Morty because it actually comes out.
Whoa, hold on a second.
And it's a kind of a hot take, but yeah, I do like Rick and Morty better, but it never comes out. So, and this Solar Opposite seems to be, on a schedule that actually they can keep up with. So I've been watching that, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair point. If it's not coming out, you don't know when it's coming out again. They have no schedule whatsoever. Yeah, kudos to that. So very interesting, guys. I finally got to see Stranger Things season 1. I actually went through the whole thing. I don't know how late I am. Am I 5 years late? Am I 6 years late? I don't know how late I am.
Is it 5 years, Rob? I don't know. They did take the hiatus for COVID. So
yeah, I think it's 6 years. You might be right. It might be 6 years now. So, you're late to the party, but the party's still going.
Still going right now. It just wrapped up season 5, I believe.
4.
Season 4, and then 5 is coming, I believe, is to my understanding.
And I think that's the last one will be 5.
2024.
Yeah. So I did have a blast with it. I really like season 1. But do you guys think the feedback I'm getting from a lot of people is season 1 is definitely the strongest? Do you guys have a guess if I'm gonna like the rest of it if I start watching it, Rob?
Yeah, I think you'll like it. You know what? There's some ebbs and flows. Listen, it was a huge hit, and it's almost next to impossible for anybody to be able to replicate that hit like 12 months later with a whole new set of episodes, right? So I think they swung for the fences. They set down some of the lore that ends up in later seasons. But yeah, you'll like season 2, but I think it'll help make you appreciate how special season 1 was. Season 3 is not bad either. It's pretty decent. I really enjoyed season 4 though.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see. I'll report back to see if the other seasons seem to be okay for me. So we'll go to that. Let me jump into the comments quickly here. So a couple people may or may not have watched the new Resident Evil show. I don't know if you guys ever.
It's on my
check.
List. Haven't seen
I've heard not good things about it.
I've heard decent. I've heard it's been okay.
Yeah, is Resident Evil popular? They had the original movies that were, I think, pretty panned, and then they had this next movie, and now they have a TV show, and I know they had cartoons and things. Is this like property that popular? Or is it
I think it is
like
huge, especially overseas, because the video game. We rented that video game on PlayStation 1, Chris, and we played it like a ton of times. And yeah, it's one of those games that came out at a time that it's just going to be cemented in the culture. I think, like Street Fighter and all those things, they're just going to keep coming up. So on a similar note, Fraser said he watched Raccoon City on Prime. He said 5 out of 10. I didn't want to touch that thing. We had debated on covering it for a podcast, and we just said we couldn't do it.
Not happening.
So shout out to that. Sarah says watch At Juliet, which is, I believe, a musical, and it's the story of what if Juliet didn't die. And I think I am gonna go see this. So look forward to comparing notes with Sarah on this one here. And then Gord mentions Rob's busy getting his tips frosted all weekend. So
actually, we did see Lewis said he finished Terminalist. And Gord followed up saying that it was quite awesome. He quite enjoyed it.
Yes, Andre actually recommended Terminalist to me as well. So
wait, you were like halfway through, John. What happened? Did you bail or did you continue plow through?
I was gonna bail, but after I think I did see Gordon and Lewis say that they watched the rest of it and it got good. And again, Andre recommended it to me, and he doesn't like many of new content. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll have to get on it. So so Gord does mention he checked out the Resident Evil, said that the good take on the storyline.
Okay.
So interesting. Yeah. So
John, I have a question for you. How many episodes of a season is really because I feel like on Terminalist you were halfway through and then it sounds like you pulled the ripcord. And I told you to plow through, but you obviously don't listen to me.
No, I don't have time. Sometimes I'll have a random block of time.
Right. But how many episodes is too many for you? Because I feel like for you can't get like anything greater than 4 episodes. I feel like it's your
of an hour-long show. How long can you handle?
Oh yeah, no, I think 2 episodes really has to hook me. Stuff like Mayor of Kingstown and all that stuff really hooked me. So I was able to watch that whole thing like right through. So the Terminalist, like I said, I had a hard time figuring out who to root for. So like light spoilers that he doesn't know if this thing is going on in his head or he's actually the victim of these bad guys coming to get him. So I was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if I root for this guy and he turns out to be crazy, that sucks. So I kind of like was on the fence. So I'll go back to it. Lewis does shout out Tokyo Vice. I don't know if either of you guys have watched that one.
No, I haven't.
But that's a really nice one.
That's on the list. Yeah. I really like all the HBO Max stuff so far, except for that Time Traveler's Wife, which I didn't watch, but that got canceled.
No,
so it's okay.
Yeah. Did you guys hear this movie called The Offer? Or this TV show called The Offer, which is about
it's on Paramount Plus. It's on my. Yeah. I was gonna start it up the other day, and I thought I got to finish The Boys first. So
but that's your jam. It's about them making the Godfather movie or something.
It is, but it's 10 episodes long. So I'm kind of thinking, well, does it really need to be 10
1-hour episodes? Is an investment.
Yeah,
I think the sweet spot is 6. To answer John's question that he got, 6 to 7, I think is the sweet spot.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think We Own the City was like a little bit longer.
No, We Own the City was maybe 6.
Was it only 6?
I think 6. Yeah.
So and I did finish that. So maybe it is the 6-hour break. So Terminal List might be 2 episodes too long.
You took a 6-hour break. Is that what you just said?
Break. I didn't take a 6-hour break. I said a 6-hour. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. Thank you everybody for sticking with us. If you're not following Heroes World on social medias, the Instagram and Facebook, we post all the new releases there. I got the new comic list up for Sunday, so check that out. And we're gonna jump to the news because we really want to get into our summer jams. So let's kick it over to Rob for the news. Me and Chris will be reacting to the news.
Okay, here we go. Hey John. As you know, this November, we're going to see Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever on the big screen. And as we've discussed in the past, the movie is going to introduce us to Riri Williams, a.k.a. Ironheart, who will then get her own Disney Plus show. And so, John, we got word last week that the Ironheart show has cast Han Solo himself, Harrison Ford. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Wait, that's not Harrison Ford.
Oh, is this the other guy who played Han Solo?
Bootleg Harrison.
Crap. We got the bad Han Solo. Okay, we got Alden Ehrenreich. So this guy has been cast in the Ironheart show. No word on what character he's playing. But John, did you ever see Solo? And if so, do you regret your life choices?
I watched. Again, this is an ongoing theme. I watched half of it and bailed.
That sounds about right.
That's a good call.
I feel like that movie wasn't good though. I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it very badly, and I didn't dig it. Chris Ho, did you manage to get through Solo?
I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I thought it was kind of a complete waste of that whole property. Like you didn't even get really any insight on Han Solo's backstory or anything. Just like I don't know. It wasn't.
You found out how he got his last name, which was kind of bad,
and how he met Chewie. That was the only two things. And you're just like everything else was like throwaway.
Was Woody Harrelson in it?
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Yeah,
played like his mentor type guy.
Yeah.
Donald Glover as Lando.
Yes,
Stewart probably love that.
Yeah, frick. Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't seen it since it was in the theater.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. All right.
That's all I have to say about that.
Right. We're going to move on here, which is what audiences are seemingly doing to Thor, Love and Thunder. It appears all is not well in Asgard as the movie saw a massive 68% drop-off in audiences seeing the Thor week over week. So, yes, okay, it still made $46 million this past weekend at the box office, but this is the highest MCU movie drop-off following the opening weekend. Now, if you actually did comparisons, Spider-Man No Way Home actually had a 67.5% drop-off from its first week, but it also took in $260 million the opening weekend. So in that regard, it's not surprising, and that is a bit of the outlier of these MCU movies, which actually see an average of about 57% drop-off week over week. So for Thor to hit 68%, that's some pretty serious shit, John. So should Marvel be worried? Is this cause for concern or just a weird Taika Waititi blip?
I've heard many criticisms of the movie. We did a review for it if you haven't checked out that podcast. But these guys basically gave it around a 7 out of 10, I think, on average.
6.5.
Yeah. 6.5. You had to knock it a half point. But yeah, it seems to be the consensus is it is kind of like slightly above average movie. I compared it to rom-coms. So if you're a fan of Kate and Leopold and Enchanted, then Thor: Love and Thunder should probably be next on your viewing list.
So
I think Chris hasn't.
If you're Pat, you'll love it, right?
Pat loved it. Chris, I don't think you saw it, right?
I didn't see it, but the consensus I see online is that Marvel has kind of a phase 4 problem. I guess their consensus, I guess, online is that the quality is dipping a bit. Anyways.
Well, listen, it will invariably be on Disney Plus. I would probably hedge my bets and say by mid-September, probably right around for D23. So you might as well just wait around and we'll catch it if you haven't. Although, listen, is it worth going to the theater to see? Yeah, sure, right? If you got the time, you go ahead and go see it at the theater. But if you are just like adamant, I don't want to see it, but I am somewhat intrigued, wait a couple months. It's going to be on Disney Plus. Also, as John said, John, Stu, and I, we did a review of that on the Heroes World podcast. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. As well, we did a review of the season of Ms. Marvel. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. I don't know if our friend Scott Graziano is here or not, John. But, he is a massive fan of Dune. And we got good news.
Is he, though?
Yes, we have good news for Scott and everybody else. Filming has started on Dune Part 2 with an official behind-the-scene pic to commemorate the day. There we are. Look at that, the clapboard for the beginning of filming of Dune 2. Honestly, we actually don't really need to talk about the specifics of this picture or the fact that they're just started filming. But it just goes to highlight that we're doing an amazing job of managing to slip in a Dune reference in each show, and it just felt timely to me. So
for the next, how long can we keep this going?
Well, listen, we kept the Army Hammer thing going for quite some time until all of a sudden it became a Korean barbecue fest. So we decided, we're going to pull that. So, and finally, John, some hopefully promising news to end the segment. As you know, San Diego Comic-Con is this weekend, and we know that Marvel will be making the return to Hall H to unveil some pretty cool stuff, but they will be holding back some big reveals for September's D23, which I just mentioned. Rumor has it, John and Chris, that Kevin Feige will unveil the cast of the Fantastic Four, which I actually think, we talked about this, I think is supposed to cap off the fourth phase of the MCU, which obviously would just be perfect. So, John, are you waiting a couple more months for FF news, or would you have preferred that it dropped this coming weekend?
I think they gotta hit the gas on these properties. So if Fantastic Four is the end of this phase, which is what, the end of this year or the end of next year, when are we gonna see?
No, it'd be 2025.
Yeah. When are we gonna see X-Men? Like they gotta not drag their feet on this, and they gotta get X-Men into the mix. On the ASAP. On a side note, is D23 that band that Eminem founded? No.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to point out.
I can't control the sound effects, but I think a womp would have been good.
Fine, fair. Fair. 100% fair.
Lewis said he'd like to see some movement on the Blade movie. Hey, Lewis, weird timing. About maybe an hour and a half ago, I saw a report online that there's a rumor that, Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander in The Boys, apparently is going to be involved in the upcoming Blade movie. Again, that's a huge rumor from, I think it was Screen Rant. So we'll find out if any information is unveiled at Comic-Con this coming weekend or not. All I do know is this. We have 2 major weekends where we're going to get a bunch of MCU stuff. So I would imagine we're going to get a lot of She-Hulk, a lot of Wakanda Forever, and maybe the Christmas special for Guardians of the Galaxy coming up this year, and maybe a Werewolf by Night, because I think that's this Halloween is supposed to be coming out. And then D23, I'm sure we'll get a bit more movie stuff. So with that, though, guys, that's the news.
That's the news. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Rob. All right. So after the news, I don't think we have anything else to cover, and we're going to get into our summer movies. So everybody start getting your lists ready. But yeah. So Rob.
Yeah, buddy.
What does it mean to be a summer movie to you? Is it the time that the movie aired? Is it the theming of the movie? Is it good looking people in swimsuits? Like what makes a summer movie to you?
Yeah, it's a very good question, John, because when you and I were trying to figure out what our parameters were of doing this, I was like, movies that I only watch in summer because it's about the summertime. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or kind of like how Die Hard is a Christmas movie. even though it was released in like June or July. It's a Christmas movie. Or movies that came out in the summer that were like really big. So I know I'm roundabout answering your question, but I know that somebody in the chat on Facebook on the post, they were like, "Oh, Batman '89," because I remember lining up June 1989 to watch Batman, and so I have that memory every time I watch the original Batman movie of being out in June in that hot, sweltering weather, lining up on opening day to see that movie with my dad and my brother. But for me, these are movies that I watch generally at in the summertime because it gives me the summer feels. It kind of, just as much as Elf gives me the winter, the Christmas feels, or Die Hard or whatever, my movies that I chose are the ones that I primarily watch in the summer because it gives me that summer vibe, man.
Yeah. So something in the theming of the movie.
Yeah.
Chris Ho, anything to add? Like we were off together during the summers, and sometimes we would just watch movies on repeat for the whole summer. Fools Rush In comes to mind, or Transformers the movie. What does a summer movie mean to you?
Yeah, it for me. It's like thinking about like being off school in Canadian winters, like like invoking those feelings of warmth and summer in you. So not so much when it came out, but I guess maybe more of the setting to me, and what they're doing is kind of how I feel it should be a summer movie.
Yeah.
Or
that's how people describe porn.
That's a different
setting,
show.
and it invokes things in me, and
that's completely different show, Rob. That's for after hours.
You know what though? But you know what? I will say really quickly. I was a kid with a single mom, and so in the summertime, she would say, "Hey, be outside." I'm in Toronto. I was up in Uxbridge. And if it rained, my buddy Sean and I, we would bike down to the Video 99 and we would rent WWF tapes, like WrestleManias and all that stuff, because they were like in 4 or 5 cassettes. And that's what we would do all day long, is watch like 6 hours of wrestling, because we didn't get pay-per-view, right? So so for me, if I watch those old matches like WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, like 4 when Macho Man went through the gauntlet and finally won the belt, in Atlantic, like that reminds me of like, I can still smell the rain and the humidity in the air every time I watch those matches.
I thought you were going to say sweaty, oiled up muscle dudes.
I can still smell my buddy Sean Doritos laden farts as we're watching these wrestling things. So,
oh man. Okay, so we're gonna go through our list we're gonna choose 3 favorites, folks. Guys, how about we save our most favorite to like the last selection we pick?
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyone in the comments, keep your 3 movies on deck, and we'll kind of go back and forth between the in the comments and stuff like that as we go through each movie. Shout outs to Steve, who mentioned Jumbo Video. Remember Jumbo Video had that free popcorn?
Yeah, man.
That you could go in.
And that's why I went under.
I questioned how clean it was.
The popcorn budget was like through the roof. They're like, no.
I used to see staff just walking around eating that thing for lunch or whatever. So I'll throw out a movie first, and then we'll kind of go around. So one of the things a summer movie means to me, or summertime means to me, is hot and sexy cars. So modded cars, big gearhead over here. So a car that looks really good, modded, souped up, or even just a sexy Ferrari or Lamborghini. That helps make a summer movie for me. So my first choice has got to be Fast and the Furious 1. This is one of those movies I'll always turn on at the point when I did get my own car. If you got a manual transmission, nothing gets you more revved up than watching Fast and the Furious and then hopping in your car and driving the speed limit. Don't speed, folks. Don't do stupid stuff. But the summer times when this movie hit was when everyone would meet at Tim Hortons down the street and hang out and just stand around in the heat. So let me kick it to Rob first, and then we'll let Chris.
They would drive imported cars too, right? And like look at them. They wouldn't just stand there, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was like a mini car show. People would drive cars, sit there, buy coffee, and everyone would check out each other. This was like the internet wasn't as strong at the time, so if you wanted to see different versions of cars and learn about different wheels and tuning and all that kind of stuff, you would go there and you would ask these guys what they put on their car, and then they would speed off, and maybe or maybe not they would go race somewhere. We tended to stay away from that, so we actually kept our noses clean for that.
Yeah, how badass can you be if you're standing outside of a Tim Hortons? You know what I'm saying? Like, really?
Why not? So everybody in the comments, maybe shout out one of your favorites. Don't go too crazy in the chat because we're gonna have to try and keep up. But Rob, let me kick it to you first, and then we'll let Chris give you his choice.
Yeah, so this is a movie that I love watching. I can watch this year round, but for me, I like watching it in the summertime. It gets me the summer feels. I can feel the heat. I can feel the terror, the fear. This was one of the original. I guess this was actually the original summer blockbuster. What kicked it off back in June 20th, 1975, and it still holds up today, fellas. Despite the fact that it's an animatronic shark, I'm talking Jaws. Jaws is a phenomenal movie. I cannot wait to show my kids this movie. My wife keeps saying you can't do it because we have a cruise. We have a cruise coming up where we're going to some islands in the winter, and I'm like, come on, I want to watch it. And she's like, you'll freak them out. Yes, they should. But yeah, man, every time I see, you go up to a cottage or a resort and you see people on those banana boats, you don't really see them as often now, but those big inflatable banana boats that are on it, I'm always thinking, oh my God, that scene in Jaws, right? Like, and again, we know that the shark, you see a lot more of the shark being forceful throughout the end part of the movie, but most of that movie was theater of the mind, man. And it made you believe, it freaked you out that this shark was underneath that water. And that opening scene of those, the skinny dippers and the girl being pulled down and then dragged back and forth. Unbelievable. So for me, summertime, grab that Coors Light, grab a bowl of cheesies, turn the lights off, and watch yourself some Jaws.
And swim in shark-infested waters. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think neither me nor Chris has seen Jaws.
What?
Yeah, that's correct. I've never seen Jaws.
Why?
I don't know. But we have never went to a video store and saw this picture of a shark on the front of a movie and went, hey, yo, Chris, we should get Jaws this week. So that's funny. I think maybe we'll have to put that on. I think you suggested that we put it on the rewatch. So we'll see.
I think Rob's going to put it on the very next one now. He's shocked.
Yeah, next week, Jaws. We all know this song, though. It was the da-dun. Yeah, so
dude, I even got stuck having to watch like Jaws 4 The Revenge one summer, like on like repeat. Jaws 3 with Dennis Quaid. Like, yeah, man, I'm telling you, I've seen them all. The rest of them aren't good, but Jaws, the first one, is the ultimate.
Yeah, the first one. All right. Okay, so Chris, since we both never seen Jaws, what is your first pick for summer movies?
I wanted to go into the kind of the action summer blockbuster genre. I know I'm not American, but what constitutes summer more than July 4th? So I'm picking Independence Day. This is a great action movie. I thought, a budding Will Smith, he was just slapping aliens back then in movies. That's all he was doing. And it had, peak Jeff Goldblum, us versus the aliens type feel, and obviously took place during Independence Day, and really gives you the summer blockbuster feels, I thought, and it's a grand scale. And the White House was blown up. That was interesting to see. As well.
It was for a movie to just be of epic scale. I feel like this is one of the first ones during at least our era that just rocked.
Yeah.
Because you saw stuff in the trailers that then they kept out certain effects, and then when you saw it in the theater, you're like, holy shit! Like it was. Yeah, it was one of those ones where you would want to go back out and grab a ticket to go back in again.
Yeah. And also the iconic president's speech. That was thrilling. Stuff like that. I remember. Will Smith that was the one that skyrocketed him, right? Or was it before Bad Boys? I don't remember. But anyways.
Oh, yes.
I think it was before Bad Boys, and that was the
Bad Boys is before. 100% before. Yeah. Because Independence Day was, I think, Will Smith's like big major motion picture kind of debut, I think. Yeah,
it was 1 year after the next, so it might have been Bad Boys first, then Independence Day.
Yeah. I think so. I think for sure.
I feel like he was still doing Fresh Prince when he did Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Straight. I think we'd have to delve into it. I feel like he rapped Fresh Prince, but
anyway,
we
had some sort of we
don't.
Endless supply of knowledge we could access through.
Hey, there was one day when the internet went down and everybody lost their shit, so we shouldn't probably be too reliant on this. Anyone else who's got their choices, start dropping them in the chat now. Comic book Craig, thanks for joining us. I know this is kind of a weird hour for you, man. He's saying Predator, the 1987 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He saw it at the age of 14. So you got to see some boobies in the hotel room, and some guys getting viciously murdered. So Shout outs to that. I debated on putting that in because I feel like one of the contents for a summer movie is sweatiness.
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was hella sweaty in that movie. Let me see if there's anyone else in the chat.
I almost added. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Yeah.
Go, Chris.
Oh, I said about sweatiness. I almost added Fast 5 to the list just because The Rock was sweating profusely every time.
Yeah. I was gonna say, nothing says summer like The Rock sweating bullets.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Bad Boys was 1995. Independence Day was 1996.
Oh, okay.
So I know for sure Bad Boys was before. Let's see here if anyone. Lewis says
Bad
even
Boys.
he saw Jaws.
Another good choice, Bad Boys. Yeah.
Sharknado. We're gonna see if Sharknado appears on anybody's list. I don't think so.
I don't think Rob would waste another choice on a shark movie of his 3.
Maybe he went for 3 shark movies. Maybe sharks. Maybe sharks are what Rob thinks of when
shark movies.
Shark movies coming up.
Oh man! Shout out to American Pie, which I guess is a teen comedy. I feel like teen comedies are very rooted in summer.
Yeah, last day of school kind of vibes. Straight into yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So should we jump to our next choice, guys, or is there any other movies you want to discuss before we do that?
I got honorable mentions. We'll do that at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll do that. We'll break before we mention our first, like our top choice, and talk about maybe some things that didn't make the cut or something like that. So let me see what my second choice would be. Since we talked so much about Bad Boys, I think I'm gonna have to shout out something else, and that's gonna be Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing.
You kidding me right now?
Is a definitive summer movie. What says summer like a shirtless Patrick Swayze, a lot of music that you recognize, going to these camps. Do you guys remember the scene where they go and see all the workers at the resort and they're like having a party with like their shirts off and everything like that? It's a crazy movie. So I feel like movies like this where you kind of go away to a camp and do something are very summer. I don't know if I could watch Dirty Dancing
Wet
in
Hot
the winter.
American Summer, or Meatball, or anything that like you pick Dirty Dancing to be your going away for summer camp movie. Are you kidding me?
I also thought it would be super funny, but Patrick Swayze is the man.
Wow, I did not think you were going to go with that one. So you're on a desert island. You got your 3 summer movies. This is movie number 2 for you.
Hey, I've had the time of my life.
You chose a Patrick Swayze movie and it wasn't Point Break, John. What is going on?
Roadhouse?
It was a tight race. Roadhouse did not scream summer, does it?
Yeah. Hot summer nights, man. You're kidding me? By the bar and Jeff Healey playing? Hell yeah.
All right. I'll give you that.
This is shocking, John. I'm very shocked right now. I cannot believe
I debated on saving this for my last movie, but I feel like my last movie is gonna be pretty big. All right, so
that means it's probably like Step It Up or something.
Step Up! I forgot it. That's Channing Tatum, right?
Baby, 2 dancing movies out of 3. I love it.
Dancing. Another thing that says summer movies to me is dancing in the streets. Oh my god. Okay, so sorry. I feel like people don't appreciate my Dirty Dancing pick. So let's go with Rob.
No, we don't respect it. All right.
You jerk.
So listen, this is a movie again, guys. I can see this movie any time of the year. We had talked about this movie in when we were doing our 90s action movie list. This is a timeless classic movie. And in fact, even talking about it, it makes me want to like just leave the stream and go fire it up. And I'm talking about the movie that came out. I got my notes here. July 3rd, 1991, guys. And it still holds up to this day. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Again, this is like I remember going to the theater and watching this that hot summer day in the really crappy, I believe it was probably in the Fairview Mall Theater, with the kind of crappy AC. But that aside, I remember watching this going, holy shit, and being blown away. And I watch this movie nowadays and I still get that nostalgic feel. I can smell it all. I can feel the heat. You could feel the heat on the screen, both figuratively and literally. There's nothing better for a great summer blockbuster in 1991 than Terminator 2, which really helped redefine action movies, including special effects and everything else that you had seen in James Cameron's Abyss. He really took what he did in the Abyss and used it for this movie. So by far, this is a summer movie for me. Throw it on. It's Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
I can't argue with that pick. I do.
It's got it all. It's got action, huge action set pieces. It's got heart too. This movie's got heart. The way the I forget the guy's name, John Connor's relationship with Terminator, how it develops. Huge, a truly terrifying villain, like this liquid metal able to shapeshift into anything. That was terrifying, man. That guy could do anything. He could kill anybody.
Have you seen this boy?
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously Arnold, peak Arnold, amazing catchphrases, awesome love you so baby, you know, stuff like that. It was amazing. It's a great pick.
And Guns N' Roses. We just saw a movie with 4 different Guns N' Roses tunes. Yet I would contend that Terminator 2 probably has the best Guns N' Roses track in a movie, I would say.
In a movie,
the best use of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember me and John rewatching that scene, though, where you had the picture where the way he reloaded his shotgun, how he
flipping it around.
Flipped it around. That was insane. And they had toys like that too. And me and John we bought the toys and we were doing impersonating that move.
The Remingtons are flipping it up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. The Terminator 2, yeah, and especially, yeah, I'm pretty sure we watched the crap out of that over the summer and stuff like that, just over and over again. Did you ever play the arcade machine, maybe on the beach or wherever they had arcade machines?
Wait, I've been to beaches. They don't have arcade machines on beaches.
No, but they'll have. Okay, so where I grew up, there was a beach and there was an arcade on the strip, I guess.
Okay.
Where you could buy ice cream, you could buy fries and stuff like that.
Yeah, where we grew up in Port Dover, there was an iconic arcade on the beach. That's what John's referring to.
Yeah. And it had these big doors that it would open the whole door, so it'd be like kind of like open. So it's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you: those fries, John, did it come in that white container, the white cardboard, with the wooden spoon with just like the 2 pokes? Is that the fries that you would get?
Yeah.
I think they did. I don't think it was a white container though. I think it was like it had pictures of fries. Like it had like a graphic of fries all around it.
Make you think you're getting more.
yeah. Look at all these fries. Things like empty.
We had fries and gravy, and the thing I most remember is the dip cones on the beach. I still get those every time I go to Dairy Queen. I get a dip cone just because of that nostalgia.
Yeah. That and shout outs to Port Dover, the perch. If you've never had perch, or if you're going over there, definitely get the perch, like fresh. It's a fishing town, so it's like fresh out of the ocean or whatever you want to call it. All right, Chris Ho, what do you have?
It's not the ocean; it's the lake.
It was on Lake Erie or something like that.
Right, but it wasn't the ocean, bro.
Okay, whatever. Lake. Right. All right, you're
Lake Erie. It was Lake Erie, John. Yeah.
All right, fine. You want to get technical about things. Anyways, Chris O, what do you have that could possibly top Terminator?
Or Dirty Dancing. I kind of wanted to
Dirty Dancing.
I wanted to pick things in different genres. This one is kind of a R-rated comedy genre. I guess kind of a romantic comedy in a way too. And to me, because it takes place in Hawaii, it kind of gives me those summer vibes of like surfing on the beach, things like that. It's Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I love this movie. Who wasn't in love with Kristen Bell at that time? I think is really funny. Had like a breakout role of Mila Kunis. Like before that, she was just in 70 Show, and this movie kind of was her breakout role. She could become a leading lady after this. But I thought it was hilarious. Just the guy, what's his name? Marshall. It's Jason Segel. He actually wrote a Dracula musical in this movie, and it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And it's something I would want to see till this day. Like I want to see a Dracula musical with puppets. I thought that'd be hilarious. And then
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand, before he became a little too preachy. He was just like the funny eccentric British guy. Christopher kind of played the villain in this movie too, which was kind of a twist. Usually plays the girl next door type. Anyways, I thought it was a great movie, and it does invoke summer vibes for me. On the beach in Hawaii surfing. Even Paul Rudd was in there too as a surf instructor. I thought it was funny. Anyways, it's just a really funny movie, and it had some heart too.
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and I'm gonna have to be fired up again.
This is Russell Brand at his peak, playing the character that he always plays. And it's interesting that you mentioned Mila Kunis becoming like basically a Hollywood royalty, and our girl Kristen Bell didn't quite happen for her. She kind of went back to TV after this. I feel like she didn't get a lot of movie opportunities, but she does rock the crap out of all the TV projects she's in. I'm surprised this wasn't on your list, Rob.
Well, no, like I just said, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but it was really funny because I just watched I feel like Russell Brand might be coming back. I mean, he was in the Minions movie, his voice, and he was also in Death of the Nile. In a really, like, for a moment, you're like, is that Russell Brand? Like,
didn't even recognize him. I was like,
yeah. So you know what? I know that he's got kind of some different opinions on things, but I think maybe he's starting to make a bit of a comeback. 'Cause I think he does have a hell of a lot of talent. Just we haven't really seen it in quite some time. So
yeah, was he in that movie Get Him to the Greek or something like that?
Yeah, with Jonah Hill.
It was kind of like a spin-off of that movie. I think he's played the same character. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I remember Puff Daddy's in that, and he's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, Puff Daddy's pretty funny in that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta buy Nikes for whatever kids or whatever. And he's like, how much that costs? But anyways, shout out to that. I think that's a great choice. Do you watch the regular version, Chris, or the unrated? I remember we had this on DVD at one point.
I don't remember. Probably unrated. If we had it on DVD, we would be watching that.
Yeah. We recently did a rewatch of 40-Year-Old Virgin, and we watched the Netflix version, which I think is the regular theatrical version. Ooh. And it is radically different from the unrated. So I think we would probably suggest that you watch the unrated, which seems to work really well for comedies. Like if you ever see a comedic movie and it's the unrated version, I feel like that's what you want to go for. Yeah. That's Jonah Hill as the waiter. Yeah, I remember that on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel like we might have to watch this. Yeah, Jason Segel, like everybody loved him, fresh off of How I Met Your Mother, right? Kind of like stealing the show in that show. So P. Diddy playing Dave Chappelle. Yeah, Mick Loving, MC Loving or Mick Loving.
MC Loving. Because Fraser said before that, he said Superbad was a good summer flick.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna appear on somebody's list, but I guess it didn't.
Yeah, that's another last day of school kind of movie vibe.
Yeah, like there's a lot of different movies. Like, and that was the thing. The last day of school movies, like Dazed and Confused.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Dazed and Confused is a perfect movie to watch anytime and towards like in the beginning to mid-June because that's your end of school stuff, right? Like, I sometimes feel like when those movies that are very time specific and time of the year, they work so well at that same time as opposed to like. And I think John, we've talked about this before, using The Crow as an example. You can watch The Crow any time of the year, but when you're watching it like at mid to late October nighttime, it just it slaps hard, right? Yeah. So
it slaps extra hard, and you might not want to go out alone at night when you watch those types of movies. Let me go through some of the lists that I got through socials, and then we'll talk about maybe some movies that didn't make the cut, and then maybe we'll talk about guilty pleasures, and then we'll drop our favorite kind of choice. What
if our favorites are in your?
Hey, then you can maybe mention it, or you can hold it till later. We'll see what happens. Anybody in the comments, be sure to drop your list now, and then we can get to it. Otherwise, just join us for the ride. So Comic Book Craig, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but on Twitter he mentioned Predator that he already talked about, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Aliens, which is interesting.
Okay,
I feel like Aliens is very wet and dark. I don't know if it's summer, but maybe he just watched it a ton of times during the summer. And then let's see, Scott, who's not here, he said Independence Day, so ID4, one of Chris's picks. I think, especially if you're American and you probably listen to that speech when you get up in the morning or something like that to go about your day. He had that on there. National Lampoon's Vacation. Shout out to that one. And then he also did have. I haven't seen that in a million years. I bet you Chris probably doesn't even remember it. I think we watched it on cable TV.
Man, the one thing I remember the most about that movie is like the grandmother, right? Yeah. And Clark's wife, she's like, "Oh my God, the dog peed all over the sandwiches." The grandmother's sitting there eating it, and like they're saying, and she just looks like, "Man," and keeps eating. Keeps eating.
They steal that joke later for Married with Children when he's eating the ashes from the mother. Yeah. He's like, and then he just keeps eating it. Shout out to Married with Children.
Bone. And they use the ashes for the barbecue. They're having the backyard peg.
Old burgers make for the new burgers was the whole thing. Yeah, we could do a whole podcast on Married with Children. And then his last choice was Dazed and Confused, which has been mentioned a couple times now. Me and Chris, I don't think we've ever watched this movie in its entirety. I think it's been around.
It was always on TV, during the summer. and we would always have it on. And I just remember a couple iconic scenes, but I never watched it like from beginning to end. It's in the entirety and knew what the storyline was. I just remember the scene where they're getting hit with the bat, or like
The paddles.
Matthew McConaughey's classic speech about high school girls.
Yeah,
And
I don't
then,
know.
I remember Ben Affleck being in it too,
Yep,
like just
he was.
randomly super young Ben Affleck in there. Yeah.
And it was Matthew McConaughey's first role.
I feel like that along with maybe Jaws. I don't know about Jaws, but I feel like I'd rather watch Dazed and Confused if we're shopping for movies the next couple weeks. Let me shout out Al. He posted and he said White Men Can't Jump, Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson basketball movie. I think that's a lot of fun. Terminator 2, one of Rob's choices, and Batman 89. So this is the guy who had Batman 89 on the list, which probably is a runner up for Rob's list. I got my buddy Mike. He mentions the original Karate Kid, with Daniel LaRusso. I feel like he's on the beach. He's kind of like enjoying the weather and all that kind of stuff, and then kicks right into a karate tournament. So karate tournament definitely takes place during the summer. I feel like
It's a full year, right? Because he starts there before school starts.
Yeah.
So he gets there in August.
Yeah. So definitely, I just remember the scenes all on the beach where he's like kicking the soccer ball around. So shout outs to that. And shout outs to Cobra Kai. I feel like that's good summer watching as well. E.T. He mentions E.T. I don't know if E.T. would make anybody here's list. I don't remember it at all. I think we did own it on VHS back in the day, Chris.
It's coming back to IMAX, fellas, in August.
I will not be attending that. And Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom, I guess that's just memories. That's the heart. Yeah, that scarred me as a kid. That was scary. More so than the skull, the face melting off. I don't remember that when I was a kid. And then he does shout out Jaws, which Rob picked as his first choice. And then one of my other buddies mentioned National Lampoon's Vacation, European Vacation, and Vegas Vacation. So a lot of vacation movies.
That guy really wants to get away. Yeah.
I feel like he needs a vacation. So I hope you get some free time soon.
Lewis put down Days of Thunder, and I gotta say, this is like one of those ones where I was like, you know what? Like, this does remind me of like super summertime as well. Like, the hot asphalt and then the racing vibe and everything else like that. Like, Days of Thunder. It was like a July movie. I remember like the promos for it, the big posters and everything else. And so for me, this reminds me of just my I guess you could say childhood or whatever, summertime.
I think a lot of Tom Cruise movies can go on the list, like Top Gun, like you were saying, Risky Business, things like that, right?
Jerry Maguire?
Yeah,
Jerry Maguire. That's a sport. Is it a sports movie, Chris O, or is it a comedy? Or is it a romance?
I don't know.
Which one?
Jerry Maguire.
Oh, that's not a sports movie.
There's a big football element.
It's sports adjacent. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a sports movie. Any given Sunday is a sports movie. The program is a sports movie. I wouldn't say that Jerry Maguire is a sports movie.
Do you remember the issue with the program? They had kids lying down in the street.
People were lying down in the middle of the roadway, and they're like, guys, don't do this. People are getting killed. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's just a Darwin Award winner. Like, if you're looking at a movie and people are lying in traffic and you're like, I'm going to try that, then the gods choose what the gods choose. So like, I don't
I remember being warned a lot after Ninja Turtles came out. It's like, don't go into the sewers, kids. Don't see that. see that the parents would point to like a manhole cover on the street and be like, don't climb down there because you've seen the Ninja Turtles. Because I guess maybe one person did it. The Replacements, Chris.
Don't
eat
pizza. I thought that's what the warning was going to be. Don't eat pizza. Look what's going to happen.
Don't eat pizza that's on the floor. Yeah.
I would say, Replacements is a sports movie. I would agree with that. I don't know if it's a summer movie. Football's classically played from September to February. February.
You could say anything, and I would say, okay, Chris.
They play football on the moon, John. Okay.
That's a great movie. If that was streaming somewhere, I would definitely watch The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. That's Footsteps, Falco. Any movies that didn't quite make the cut that you want to mention? I had considered Short Circuit, the original one, because I remember watching it a lot when I was a kid. But it's got this really racist character in it, which I don't know how to feel about now, because I was completely unaware that he was not of this origin.
I remember that moment when you're like, wait, what?
Rob, like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, what?
That guy was white. I'm like, yeah, man.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know, Chris, if you remember watching that movie with me at all back in the day.
I remember being really sad. I don't remember much about it. Yeah, I remember being really sad to where, I mean, I guess the robot, like, you're talking about Short Circuit, right? The robot dies or something at one point or something, and I remember being really sad.
Yeah. I don't remember. You think he gets blown up. This guy that you've been watching the whole movie and loving, you think he gets blown up at one point. And I remember I was watching this with my mom in her room, and I was like, oh no, and my mom's like, don't worry, he's fine. He'll be back. I don't know if she actually knew. I don't think
she didn't want you to experience any pain, John. She's like, don't worry, it's good. It's good.
yeah. I have to ask if she actually knew or she just went on faith.
Don't worry. He reappears in Rocky 3. It's all fine.
Yeah. But it's funny that they followed up with a Short Circuit 2, which has the exact same racist character.
Yeah.
I'd have to get someone's opinion of that background to see if I've seen some people online say they actually thought it was funny. But anyways, Rob, anything that didn't make the cut that you want to mention?
Yeah, so 2 movies. I got 3, but 2 movies. It's because I saw them in the summertime and they were like transformative for me. The first one was The Matrix, 1999. I just like Independence Day before it. This movie came out. There's a lot of promo for it. You weren't really sure what it was about, and it like just blew me away. And we left the theater. And we bought another ticket, went right back in. I've only ever done that for Matrix and for Face Off. Yeah. So The Matrix, I loved. I think I saw it 3 or 4 times in the theater that summer. So I always think about the summertime with The Matrix. Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. I was working in radio. I was doing the promotions, and I attended the premiere in Toronto. I was out there, with the banners, taping the banners in the theater and doing all that stuff. So for me, I always think of summertime. I think of Spider-Man, that first movie. But if I'm going to go with a classic summertime movie, guys, I'm going all the way back to like the mid 80s and Stand By Me. Like, I loved watching Stand By Me growing up. Even though there's, maybe some hard elements at the beginning, but it's a very, poignant film about growing up, about adolescence. Even though it took place in the 50s, it was still kind of relevant into the 80s. But that pie eating scene, the pie eating contest, man, gets me every time. And I really, really enjoyed Stand By Me. So for me, that I always think of, that's a great summertime flick to watch.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if me and Chris have seen Stand By Me. I always mistake it for is there a movie called Lord of the Flies or something like that?
Yes.
Where a bunch of kids get stranded. For some reason, I think that, and then people start talking about Stand By Me like you, and I'm like, they killed a kid with a rock in the head and all this.
They killed Piggy. Wait, no, that's a wrong. Yeah, that's wrong.
I get it. Yeah, I get it mixed up with the Goonies a lot. Like,
the Goonies. The Goonies. No one picked the Goonies. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's one of the ones. Yeah, but I haven't. I don't remember either. I know I've seen them. I don't remember either of them, and I get them mixed up a lot.
Yeah. I feel like it becomes like a school project. I think you watch Stand By Me in school classes a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. In reference to your Matrix thing, I think we went to see the Matrix, and after we finished the movie, I think we didn't know if we liked it. We were just our worlds were blown. We were standing around in the parking lot going, "That was crazy."
Yeah.
That was crazy. All right, Chris has to step out for a second, so I'll bring up. I did want to put Point Break on my list.
My dog. She just came in here and is like starting to make snoring noises, so it's not me farting. All right. Point Break.
Sure it's not. Yeah, Point Break. I wanted to get that on there, but I thought the Dirty Dancing joke would hit harder, so I opted for Dirty Dancing.
Don't even try to backpedal.
I regret my decision. That's
the joke being questionable taste. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll wear that. I'll wear that L. I'll wear the L. And I did have Bad Boys was a definite runner up. I think between Bad Boys and Fast and Furious, I didn't know which one to pick. I thought I'd open with the Cars joke, but Bad Boys won. I could just watch that all year round though, so I guess that would be cheating. So I don't know if that has to be designated summer, but just the way he filmed it and everything's like almost orange. The fact that it's in Miami, Miami just makes me think summer. I don't think winter exists in Miami, but I've been there, and they do set up for Christmas, which is a sight to behold. Chris, anything that you maybe didn't make your cut?
Yeah, some of the ones that opened in summer. I think Jurassic Park is one. I think of the first Avengers came out in the summer, and I just want to mention that because it kicked off this whole. it wasn't the first movie, but it kicked off the whole like Marvel kind of shared thing that we experienced for 20 plus movies and things like that. So wanted to mention those two. One that I thought you would have on your list as a joke, John, would be, I thought it was going to be Into the Blue, if you remember that movie with your boy Paul Walker, the perfect summer actor, Paul Walker, by the way.
It was on my guilty pleasure list. Yes,
and of course peak Jessica Alba in that, and I thought that was going to be on your list, John, and I just want to mention it, and you had it ready. So
yeah. It's on my, like, if we were to name our guilty pleasure.
Wow, Scott Conn. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So if you guys got a guilty pleasure list, definitely shout that movie out now. But yeah, this one, it's a fun movie. It's about just a bunch of like they're like scuba diving, and they come across a bunch of drugs from the cartel or something like that, and just craziness ensues, and everybody in here looks good in a bathing suit. I think one of them does get bitten in half by a shark. So Rob's favorite thing, getting eaten by sharks.
Yes, and you, yes. Mm-hmm.
And I remember the camera work of the underwater stuff actually looks really amazing. And I think if you look it up, the technology that they used for it was actually like cutting edge for that time. Oh, shout outs to Michelle. Who saw Into the Blue in the theater. Hey, Michelle, I would have went to see that with you.
Swimming in a bikini,
yeah. I would have went to see that with you. Gord's shouting it out. I'm waiting for his comment that says I was actually an extra in the background of the movie. But, shout outs to Gord.
He played the lifeguard in the first
yeah.
Remember? That was Gord.
It is. It's so I guess we're gonna get more mileage out of this Into the Blue. Better than Baywatch, 100%. That Baywatch movie was trash. With The Rock, unless we're talking about David Hasselhoff.
I'm the biggest Rock stan, and I hated that movie. So yeah, maybe not as big as Pat, because Pat liked it. So
yeah, to this day, Pat says that when we walked out of that movie theater, he was like, "That was pretty good, eh?" And I was like, "No, it wasn't, dude."
He's in denial.
But I have no one to blame but myself, because I actually wanted to go see it. Rob, any guilty pleasures or anything you want to mention before we move on?
No, I'm good. I saw that Lewis had Wayne's World.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that reminds me of summertime. There's just so many. It's not a guilty pleasure, but the one thing I was really struggling if I was going to put on was Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, because it takes place in the dead heat of summer, with Samuel L. Jackson as Jesus. Zeus. Sorry, as Zeus, because he makes a joke. He goes, "Why do you keep calling me Jesus? Do I look Puerto Rican to you?" My name's Zeus. You know the god of thunder. Don't fuck with me. I'll put a lightning bolt up your ass. Which again, we just saw in Thor. And that movie, for me, I always think of summertime. Like I just rewatched all those Die Hards a number of months ago. And I watched it. It was probably in the wintertime, I think. And I got to say, Die Hard 3 just feels like a good summer action flick, right? So,
yeah, I do remember it looking very hot in that movie. Chris, any guilty pleasures you want to drop?
Yeah, I guess I don't know if it takes place during the summer, but it has summer in the name. It's 500 Days of Summer, which I really loved. It's kind of an anti-love story. It looks like a romantic comedy. It's kind of a coming-of-age movie. Hidden in a romantic comedy, and it's kind of like an anti-love story about like a guy who meets a girl named Summer and is infatuated with her for about 500 days, and it kind of shows like a more realistic side of how relationships work, and it was filmed in a very interesting way and had a lot of good bits in it. And who doesn't love Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Oh, damn it, Chris! I was going to make John say the guy.
I always get it wrong. I always say Gordon Joseph Levitt.
Sorry, I didn't know that was the running gag. I should have go for it.
Yeah, there's another one that I was thinking of was Empire Records, and I just had to go on it. But yeah, it was on Prime a little while ago, so I just watched it again. And man, that movie that's solid flick, man.
Empire Records is that dream summer job you wish you had, right? Working in something that you have interest in, with a bunch of people.
With Liv Tyler.
With Liv Tyler, potential romantic interest, and just a bunch of like friends and stuff like that. We kind of saw this a little bit in Clerks and Clerks 2 and stuff like that. But I think that's what that movie invokes for me. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, good. I feel like I saw another one that was in there. Coneheads. I don't know if anyone remembers Coneheads.
Yeah, I went to the theater to see the Coneheads.
I think I did too. I think it was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, it was. Because it was around. Within that time, you had the Brady Bunch movie, You had Conehead. You had a couple. And Wayne's World had really kind of did quite well for these SNL movies, right? So I think Coneheads was the next one after Wayne's World and stuff. So yeah, we all kind of just flocked to the theaters like that. There was a run of about 3 years where Paramount was just putting out these like crazy nostalgic hits.
When was It's Pat the movie came out? Do you remember that? Was that before? That was after Coneheads, right? Coneheads was like
that was way after, and it did not do well in theaters.
Oh man, I feel like they should go on a run again. They should start another studio and just start taking D in a box and all that stuff and making movies into it. What was that other one? Dear Sister, that joke from the OC or whatever. That would make a funny movie.
I think the last SNL movie they ever made, like tied into it, was MacGruber. I can't think of any other like skit that's been turned into a movie like recently.
Yeah. All right. So actually, there's a lot of Conehead love in here. So sure, shout outs to Coneheads. I do remember seeing that in the theaters. Shout outs to South Park. If you guys are South Park fans,
Beavis and Butthead do America, bro.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
Love me some Beavis and Butthead.
All right. Shout outs to Mike Judge. All right. So let's move on, and I guess we'll go to our top pick. Unless you guys had anything else you want to talk about before we get to that.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to throw out my top pick. And there's one scene that is definitive summer in all of moviedom. And that is playing with the boys in Top Gun. But that's not my choice. My choice is actually it's predecessor or whatever. It's spiritual follow-up. I don't know what you would call it. The Prodigal Son.
What are you trying to say, John?
Is it not sequel?
Yeah, sequel, whatever. I was trying to make it sound fancy. I'm bad at words. If someone wants to help me with words, give me a ring. But Top Gun Maverick, that is going to be my definitive summertime movie going forward. Of course, they have the football on the beach. They have the One Republic song. It's a fantastic tune if you want to crank it up in your car and with the windows down. And just everything about this movie. I guess they kind of cheat their way around it. Everyone's always wearing flight suits, so you kind of don't. You can get away with not knowing what the weather was, but I feel like it does feel like it's in summer or at least hotter weather. And this movie's just a smash. I don't know. It's gonna give you that nostalgia factor. And it's gonna be a modern movie, and you're gonna see Tom Cruise and his crew do some really wicked stuff. And plenty of aviators to go around. So none of us wore aviators today, but shout outs to that. Do you renege my Top Gun Maverick choice?
Well, I think it's kind of weird. You only saw it once in theater, but listen, it's a great movie. But I mean, that's huge praise for it to skyrocket to your top summer movie.
I think it's going to take over. I think I'm going to watch it every summer for sure. I would like to get it in a couple more times before this summer is out, but I don't know. But there's no movies coming out right now other than Bullet Train on the horizon, so maybe it'll happen. Rob, what is your number one choice out of the movie that we got here?
Okay, guys, listen. You guys might question what the hell I'm thinking, but this is like one of the most ultimate summer movies. This is a movie about two guys who are working in like the hottest heat wave in New York, who get invited out to their boss's summer home for a weekend because they've stumbled upon something and he needs to take them out. And something ends up happening to Bernie, and oh shit, some tomfoolery happens, and they decide to spend the weekend, and they leave, and it's Weekend at Bernie's, man. This is like the ultimate summer movie. You throw this one on, and you get nothing but wicked feels and great laughs, and this is the personification of a summertime flick. I love this movie. I can only watch it in the summertime. I cannot watch it in winter. It doesn't work for me. This is the best. This is hilarious. Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, and Terry Kaiser as Bernie. But you know, so many memorable lines from this movie. You know, I mean, the fact that they've got him in the speedboat and they're going through, and he hits the buoy, and it's like surfing time like that, and they're tying up his wrists, and they're walking with him, and they're using him with the fly swatter, and he's waving hello. So, man, Weekend at Bernie's, I love this movie. This is for me a personification of summer movies.
Yeah, no, was there not a sequel? There was a sequel, right?
I don't mention that one.
Oh, you don't mention sequel. Chris, thoughts on Weekend at Bernie's? I do remember during our childhood we did enjoy this movie.
Yeah,
as well.
This is definitely an iconic summer movie. Summer vibes all day. Just spending the weekend at that summer house and all the things they're doing. The way they're dressed, the way they dressed Bernie, and the way they manipulated it.
Stapling
ultimate summer comedy movie. And yeah, I agree with Rob. It is very iconic and should be, I think, on tops of the list. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a ton of fun. I question how long do you think that guy playing Bernie had to be on set? Do you think he was on set all the time?
That guy should have got an Oscar, man. He played
that
guy amazingly
every day, man.
Oh,
yeah, it was, and have to keep that stupid face up.
Yeah, just okay. Do your thing. You pretend to be dead. Everyone else is gonna be doing stuff. You
can't just like sleep all day. You gotta sell it, man.
I love Andrew McCarthy when he's like, what type of a guy invites you to his house and dies on you?
I feel like it's been too long that I'm definitely this is another one that's going to have to go on the list of potential shop around candidates for coming up. Would you prefer a remake? And instead of having the dummy, you can clearly tell it's a dummy during some of the effects and stuff like that. What if someone like a Johnny Knoxville played that part and actually took all those hits? Would you entertain that?
No.
No, not at all. All right, so this is a classic. Don't touch
mess
it.
with the classic.
There's something about the delivery that Andrew McCarthy does, and even Jonathan Silverman, right? I mean, as the more of the straight guy, and he is just hilarious in his stuff. Yeah, man, I love this movie. It's my summer jam.
All right, cool. All right, Chris O, what have you got for your number one choice?
All right, so the movie I chose, I wanted to kind of do different genres. This one is going to be in the sports genre. It may not be your typical movie that you think about for summer. It's about a sport that takes place in the summer, and when I say it, you guys aren't going to be surprised. I can shoehorn this into any kind of top movie list, I will do it. It doesn't, it doesn't make me want to play the sport when I watch it. 90% of it is filmed in the basement office of the Oakland A's facility, but I'm going to say Moneyball is my favorite.
Wow.
Favorite summer movie. Baseball is, John didn't know this, but baseball is played during the summer. They're called the Boys of Summer. And I just love this movie. They use statistical analysis to win baseball games, and it is beautifully shot. Obviously you got some Brad Pitt action there if you need something to look at while you're watching the movie. And it's incredibly accurate to the book, and funny too, really funny in some of the deadpan humor that they have in there, and the situations they find themselves in. But yeah, this is my favorite summer movie.
Yeah, even I don't get any of this sports when Pat and you guys nerd out about these statistics and Stu, all these I don't know what you call it, super analytics or whatever. I'm like, woo. But this is a fantastic movie. I'll have to admit that. Rob, what do you think about Moneyball?
Yeah, no, we did a rewatch for about a year and a half ago, and yeah, man, the movie holds up. It's a lot of fun. It was the first movie that really kind of helped propel Jonah Hill into more of the dramatic side of things. After what he did with this, and he went on to do Wolf of Wall Street, where he was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. So, yeah, this definitely helped Jonah Hill be seen in a new light, not in the Superbad or the Babysitter light that we've seen him before. And yeah, I agree, man. Baseball is a fun. You know what? There is something about watching baseball movies in summertime, whether it's this Field of Dreams, Raging Bull, whatever. It's a lot of fun, but this is a good pick. We knew it was going to be Chris's pick. I mean, when Chris, 80 years from now, shuffles off his Mortal Coil, he's going to have a copy in a Blu-ray, whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Digital, it'll be on a USB key or whatever.
Yeah.
That will be.
Save that image, John. If you ever ask me to come back for any kind of list of any movie,
yeah. I'll just have the Moneyball image.
I'm gonna find a way to put Moneyball
on deck. He's gonna fit it in, like the Army Hammer references Rob had from 2020. Sarah Shoup said that she maybe doesn't classify this as a carefree summer movie, but I debate or whatever that nerding about this type of super analytics, guys like Chris and Stu and Pat probably love doing that type of thing. So it's a conversation that I wish I could join, but it's not going to happen. So shout outs. Fraser shouts out Major League. Is that with Wesley Snipes and Charlie Sheen?
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Ricky Vaughn, just a bit outside.
I think everything I know from baseball is probably from one of those Major League
Basketball.
movies.
We watched that a lot, John. Remember we watched Basketball a lot? That ridiculous movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, we did watch a lot of dumb sports movies.
It's true.
Oh my god.
I'm shocked Ferris Bueller's Day Off didn't make it on anyone's list. That was I thought that was for sure going to be on somebody's list. But I watched that every summer.
It too many times, like the same formula over and over again. I
thought
I would
it too, but they are in school. They take the day off.
They're skipping school. Yeah.
They're skipping school.
True,
yeah. So
I remember being like was it the last day or I don't know, the last day before? Maybe.
No.
I don't know. No, it's just skipping random day of school. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong. I remember it being the last day of school for some reason.
No, because it was in May because it had some parade going on down there.
Oh, okay. All right. So never mind. Yeah.
All right. I was just double checking if I had anything else on my list. Anything come to mind, guys, before we wrapped everything up? I did want to shout out Transformers. I did want to put Transformers 1 on our list because it was, or my list, because it came out at a time where we were just burnt out and we just really needed a summer movie. So that was the time when we moved the store from our original location to our new location in Warden Highway 7. And we were just beat. And a couple customers came in and told us, hey, that Transformers movie is actually pretty cool. So we all piled into a car like back in high school days and watched Transformers together. You get the drive back with all your friends and you talk about the movie after, which is similar to kind of what we do here. So shout outs to that. And I did want to put Transformers 2 on my guilty pleasures.
Transformers 2.
I probably should have opted for that gag instead of the Dirty Dancing. I guess no one was down with my Dirty Dancing.
It's a record. It was no gag. You actually meant it. All right.
I remember watching Transformers 1 in theater, and when Megan Fox lifts the hood of that car and they have that shot, I remember the whole theater just gasping, like, "Oh my goodness!" Like this, like audibly, I could hear the reaction. That was
500 nerds all just like blew their load. Oh.
It was great. They were all it's magical. If you haven't watched it, they are really young. Shia LaBeouf, right?
Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
It's both ways. Anyways, he is extremely young in that movie if you go back and rewatch it. So Steve shouts out the island over Transformers. Sure, I'll give you that. ScarJo and Ian McGregor. Obi-Wan Kenobi fame. Yeah. Those good times. They had the white track suits that looked pretty fire. Basketball versus dodgeball. Dodgeball was fun too. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. That was a good time.
Dodgeball was good. Yep.
What's your number one? I'm waiting for your number one. You're leaving me hanging here. You're. Don't you have a number one? Or are
no, it was Top Gun Maverick.
Oh shit! That was
Top
it.
Gun Maverick.
He already forgot.
I was like, John hasn't done number one yet. What are we waiting for?
No, I should have saved Dirty Dancing for the end punchline. That probably would have worked better.
It would have.
And I should have opened with Top Gun Maverick. Anyways, thank you guys for doing this. Thanks for having fun with us. Hopefully everyone got a kick out of our list, and let us know in the comments who had the best list. Rob, he went with Jaws. Terminator 2
and Weekend at Bernie's.
And Weekend at Bernie's. That's pretty solid. I opted for Fast and Furious.
Pick,
Dirty Dancing was my joke that fell flat. And the Top Gun Maverick. I feel like Top Gun Maverick trumps all. And then Chris Ho went with
Independence Day.
ID4, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which we're all remembering was a fun time. And Moneyball, of course, which
Moneyball.
takes the number one slot in every single one of Chris's.
It's like our saddest movies. Oh, Moneyball.
I don't think there was
ends.
I don't think there was a scene outside during the daytime of them playing baseball, like actual baseball in that movie. But still, anyways, I found a way to fit it in here.
It does mostly take place in a dingy office.
Yeah. The best scenes are in the office, like that trade deadline scene. I watch yearly. I watch that scene yearly. Yeah,
it's a solid pick, solid rewatchable scene. So yeah, let us know in the comments who you think had the best list. I'm pretty sure. I think Rob's going to take it for this one.
Rob's pandering to the crowd.
Rob went all in.
He never even seen Jaws.
He should have picked Ferris Bueller's Day Off and E.T. or something like that, and then he would had it on lock for sure. So thank you everybody for joining us for that madness. We'll get back to you guys on what we're going to do next week. Maybe we'll have some more fun like this. And we really appreciate you guys in the comments. And if you're watching this on the replay, do join us for the live show Mondays 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and have some fun with us. Make fun of me, make fun of Rob, make fun of Chris if he joins us.
Jerk.
Teach me English.
He picks a boring baseball movie. Does that.
Pacific Rim, Steve. I'll have to talk to you one day and ask, like, how does Pacific Rim qualify for the summer? But thank you, everybody. Good night, Fraser. So we will check you guys on the next one. Thank you, Ariana, everybody. Thanks, guys. Everybody. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Chris. Thanks.